Welcome aspirants again to the economic series of mine. What we will see in this video, again a very basic topic, very simple topic that most probably you are aware about it. So that is, what is GDP? GDP, the full form of GDP stands as gross domestic product. Alright, now the name, the full form of GDP speaks all about it. Gross. The word gross means total. Domestic means inside. Inside home. Inside your home means domestic. Product means it is the resultant of a production. Result of production. When you do production, you get product. So total production inside. That is GDP. Means in a territory of a country, whatever final goods and services are produced, the value of all of it is considered as the gross domestic product. What does the definition say? The definition says value of all final goods and services produced within the territory of a country. If this is a territory of a country, then inside this, whatever production will be there of final goods and services. Now, why final? Because goods can be of three types. There can be number one, raw material, number two, intermediate goods, and number three, final goods. Raw materials are those which are used to produce final goods. Intermediate goods are those goods which are unfinished goods but not raw material. They are somewhere in between. They are inside the conveyor belt, they're inside the factory. Those goods are intermediate goods. Neither raw material is considered for calculation of GDP, neither intermediate goods are calculated into GDP. Only the final goods are calculated. Now, the reason is why only final goods? Because the final goods already consists the value of the raw material. If we include raw material and intermediate goods along with final goods, what will happen? The value of final goods we will consider. If we consider these two, there will be overlapping of value. So, for example, sugar cane, sugar. So, if sugar is a final product, then sugar cane will be the raw material. Now, if we consider the value of sugar, also the value of sugar cane, then there will be two values of sugar cane, because inside the value of sugar, there is the value of sugar cane. So, no use of taking sugarcane into consideration, and thus only we take the final value of the sugar. All right, thus we consider only final goods in the calculation of the GDP. All right, now interestingly, in this GDP, whether the production is done by a Indian, say for example in India, if we take the country as India, if the production is done by an Indian, that value will also be considered. But if any foreigner is also doing production, foreigner is also doing production inside India, then that value will also be. Now, when there is another concept of gross national product or gross national income. There we do an adjustment with the nationalities. There we only consider the income or production value generated by the domestic, by the, sorry, nationals. Okay, we do not consider the income generated by the foreigners there. Fine. So this is the meaning of GDP. Now we will see how GDP is calculated. So we are here talking about the methods to calculate GDP. Now let's see. So basically there are three methods to calculate GDP. First one is known as value added method. Now this value added method, it has the formula Q into P. Q stands for quantity and price stands for P stands for price. Now in case of goods, how much quantity has been produced is multiplied by the price of that product, the value we get, and when we sum up all the goods and multiply by their price, we will get the GDP under value added method. This value added method is also known as output method, also known as output method. Okay. Now, one interesting fact, see, if you are producing something and selling, that means that is your income. So we can say that production value and income are equal. So we can also calculate the GDP under income method. So what is done here? Here, whatever various types of income are there, summation of all income generated in a country. Say in India, say the recorded salary we have, the people who are getting salary plus rent plus wages plus businesses profits, okay, interest, etc. So whatever income are there in India, people are getting. If you sum up all that, we will get the GDP under income method. And interestingly, the GDP must be equal in every method. Now next, if you are earning income, okay, that means you are contributing to the GDP. That means if you are earning income in one side, that means from the other side, somebody has to spend money. So your income is equal to someone's expenditure. So we can also calculate GDP under expenditure method by calculating all the expenditures that are generated in India. So expenditure method, the formula of expenditure method we will discuss in another video. Till then, thank you and God bless you.